Welcome once again to Mariners baseball on Root Sports. The Mariners fans making their way inside the Oakland Coliseum. It is Star Wars night, so watch out. Everybody be on high alert, even more than usual, as the Mariners get set to tangle with the A's in the middle game of this three-game series to begin a two-city road trip. The Mariners falling last night 6-3 to snap their season-best six-game winning streak. They will look to get things turned around and get back on the winning ways here tonight behind Hisashi Iwakuma. And speaking of the lineups, Mike, how about a look at what the Mariners will run out there tonight?
Okie had last night off. He's going to lead off tonight. Good numbers against Graveman, 3 for 5 in his career. Nelson Cruz is 5 for 9 against Graveman. 28 home runs, that's 5th best in the American League. And Kyle Seager, a home run in last night's ball game, a 6-game hitting streak for Kyle, hitting .435 with a couple of home runs. Take a look at the numbers for Kendall Graveman. 8-7, a 4.29 ERA in 128 innings, just 78 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .280. He's given up 16 home runs, and he has been a hot pitcher for the A's as of late. He's pitched well over his last 7 outings. And a look at the defense. Chris Davis is going to get the start in left field. He was the DH for the A's. Coco Crisp in center. He can still run it down. Below average throwing arm. Look for the Mariners to take advantage of that. Max Muncy at second base. Normally a third baseman, but playing second base for the A's. Stephen Vogt will do the catching. He has caught 20% of the base stealers this year. Kendall Graveman, his last outing against the Orioles, he went 7 innings, just 1 earned run in that outing. Didn't walk anybody, 4 strikeouts. He threw 99 pitches.
So Graveman set to face Nori Aoki to begin things here tonight. As you can see, a little bit of an earlier start time and some shadows might be in play early on, as Graveman gets things going with the pitch missing to Nori Aoki.
607.
Look at these two starting pitchers tonight on both sides. Graveman for the A's, Iwakuma for the Mariners. Really the only two on either staff that has been there for almost the entire season in terms of just overall starts. Both teams have used a dozen starting pitchers this year, tied for the league high.
One of the interesting things when you look at Kendall Graveman, his average fastball this year at 92 miles an hour. So he's going to try to sink it a lot, but basically he's stayed with a fastball, a two-seam fastball, and a cut fastball. He'll mix in an occasional changeup and curveball. But again, lately he's been able to use the two-seamer. A lot of ground ball outs for him.
And speaking of that, this time through the right side, however, and Aoki is aboard. Leadoff base hit for Nori Aoki.
He's now 4 for 6 in his career against Graveman.
Batting in the second position.
This will be on the fastball, 91 miles an hour. I think that's what the Mariners do. Anything that's up in the zone, you're going to see them be aggressive at the plate.
Leadoff man aboard for the Mariners. That brings in Seth Smith. Good numbers against Graveman and some limited at-bats. Smith looking to get things going here in the month of August. 4 for 22. Mike, these shadows an issue for either side early on?
Yeah, they are right now. The first couple of innings are going to be rough for both sides. Basically, they're going to wait for those shadows to move their way over the mound. Once they're in the shade, it's fine.
Soft line drive to Muncy. Throw to first base, and Aoki survives. Smith is out.
And again, the biggest thing with the shadows is you can see the baseball come out of the pitcher's hand. What you can't do is once it gets into the shadows, pick up the spin. There's the glare behind the mound, and then it gets into the darkness of the shadow, and it's tough to pick up rotation.
Number 22, Robinson.
1 out, 1 on for Robinson Cano. Robbie hitless last night. Mariners now 5-5 on the season against the A's. Like one more road trip here to Oakland before the year's over with. You can see the numbers for Cano. Very good numbers against Graveman, who tonight makes his 3rd start this season against the Mariners. He's been knocked around a little bit by Mariners hitters. Graveman has worked just under 11 innings this year against the Mariners, and he's given up 17 hits, 6 earned runs. Aoki a leadoff single at first base with 1 out. High the opposite way out to Chris Davis. Into the shadows for out number 2.
We haven't seen Chris Davis a lot in the outfield. Again, he was the DH last night. That was a poor throw that he just made back into the infield.
Designated
So you have
hitter,
Davis out in left field and Coco Crisp
Nelson
in
Cruz.
center. I think the Mariners could take advantage, maybe take an extra base off of the outfielders for the A's.
Well, in recent years, when you think about A's outfield, you think about Reddick, the Gold Glover, in right. Now with the Dodgers, and off to a rough start with his new team. So, in terms of outfield defense, maybe not quite as imposing as it was just a couple of weeks ago for the A's. 2 outs for Nelson Cruz. Graveman trying to work around a leadoff single on the 4th pitch of the ball game to Aoki.
And the A's have the shift on with Nelson hitting. Muncy, the second baseman, over on the left side of the infield.
You mentioned the hot run that Graveman's been on recently, Mike. You look at his last 7 starts, just 1 clunker mixed in there. He had a complete game against Tampa Bay near the end of July. You mentioned his last start, 1 run over 7 innings against a very explosive Orioles team. So the Mariners catching Graveman at kind of a bad time for the Mariners' sake.
Well, I think the good news with it is they've had a lot of success. And Nelson Cruz almost hits Aoki in the head with a line drive. That was close.
Nori hit in the deck.
It's just a fastball elevated out over the plate, and Nori. Yep.
Batting in the 5th position, third baseman, number 15, Kyle Seager.
And I think most of the time when you're a runner at first base and Nelson Cruz is up there, you're not expecting a line drive to be hit at you. You would expect him to pull the ball a little bit more, and that's the reason why the A's had their defense. Nori having to make a quick adjustment out on the field.
I'd say so. 2 outs, 2 on. Right away, the Mariners with the runner in scoring position.
And a hot hitter in Kyle Seager. Kyle with a home run in last night's ballgame. Now 22 home runs, 73 RBIs. 6-game hitting streak for Kyle, hitting .435 over the 6 games.
And this is something, Mike, the Mariners did not have at all last night. That is an at-bat with the runner in scoring position. You don't see that very often.
You really don't.
Aoki at second, Cruz at first, both with singles.
Especially with all the changes the A's have made, and you look at their pitching staff, 14th in the American League in ERA. Thought there would have been a few more opportunities for him.
Bullpen last night for the A's locked down the Mariners over the final 3 innings. On a line into the shift. The A's have been looking at the charts. Muncy makes that catch easily, and with that, Graveman strands a couple. Hasashi Iwakuma trying to keep things rolling for his sake. We'll take them out when we go to the bottom of the 1st. As we make our way to the bottom of the 1st inning, middle game of the series, Mariners and A's. Oakland winning last night. As we take a look at the A's starting lineup.
And we'll look at Marcus Semien hitting second in the lineup. He was 4 for 4 in last night's ball game. Also has 23 home runs on the year, so you want to be careful with him. Chris Davis, the cleanup hitter, 28 home runs on the year, including a home run last night. He is tied with Nelson Cruz for 5th in the American League. And Billy Butler, tough year for him. You see, 2012 he had 29 home runs, only 4 home runs this year. For Iwakuma, looking for his 14th win on the year, a 3.79 ERA, 111 strikeouts, over 33 walks. Opponents hitting .270 against Kuma.
Coco Crisp once again leading things off for the A's. The first to face Iwakuma here tonight. Now this has been a really impressive run for Hisashi Iwakuma. Makes his first road start of the month. But look at what he did over the homestand, Mike. 7 1/3 scoreless versus the Red Sox, 7 scoreless versus the Tigers. 2 very potent lineups. It seemed like one of the keys for Iwakuma in those 2 starts, 1 walk, 15 strikeouts.
He's been on top of his game, and you can see his last outing against the Tigers, the numbers, 97 pitches. In fact, in his last 2 outings, he's thrown 97 pitches. So he's been very efficient, working deep into games. Against the A's, he's 4-1 with a 2.78 ERA. So he's pretty much had his way with Oakland. Iwakuma this year, his average fastball at 88 miles an hour. Going to see a slider and a split, an occasional curveball and a cutter.
Still a ball and 2 strikes to Coco Crisp. Now, for whatever reason this year, Iwakuma has more times than not brought some good offense along with him. His run support has been fantastic by and large this season. And the 2 games that he has started against the A's, the Mariners won those 2 games by a combined score of 21-5. And he certainly lived up to his end of the bargain in both starts.
I think he would like his chances if the guys can score 10 runs for him tonight. I think that'll work.
And Mike, we were talking about the shadows, and from the span of the top of the first to the bottom of the first, the shadows are already behind the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, it's a little bit better for the hitters now. Once Iwakuma or the Graveman are both in the shadow, then everything will be just fine.
Over Marte and into left center. A 68-mile-an-hour curveball.
Take a look at the defense for the Mariners. Seth Smith getting the start out in right field. Gutierrez had to start last night, but it'll be Seth tonight. Marte is at shortstop. Good to have him back from the disabled list. Adam Lynn is your first baseman, and Chris Iannetta. He will give Mike Zunino the night off. He's doing the catching.
Marcus Semien, monster night last night. Talking last night about his home run potential and power this year, 23 home runs. Now that Trevor Story is likely done for the year, the rookie shortstop for the Rockies, he leads all active shortstops in the majors in home runs, just a couple ahead of Corey Seager. Iwakuma quickly at 0-2.
Sure, the A's are excited about that and showing the power that he has. But probably just as excited about his defense. He has 16 errors this year, which you might think is a little bit high, but when you consider he made 35 errors last year, that's a big improvement.
And led the majors. A long pause by Iwakuma. Out to Cano. Marte at second, and Semien is safe.
And he also runs well. I don't think Cano or Marte could have done any more.
In third position and catching, number 21, Stevens.
Cano was able to field it cleanly and get rid of it quickly. Pretty firm little toss, backhanded toss to Marte, and a strong throw, but Semien is able to beat it out.
1 out Semien at first. It brings in Stephen Vogt, the catcher, batting third. They have the shift on for Vogt right away. We had a really fascinating conversation with Miguel Cabrera back at Safeco Field when the Tigers were in town after he faced Iwakuma, and Iwakuma handled Cabrera very well. And we were talking to, well, maybe the greatest right-handed hitter of his generation about facing Hisashi, and how you look at his fastball, Mike, 86 to 88 miles an hour. Among starting pitchers, he is one of the slowest fastballs in all of the majors. And Cabrera said that it is exhausting facing Iwakuma because your eyes are constantly going up and down and up and down, and the splitter low, the fastball up, and that combination has been very successful for Iwakuma in his career.
Look, at this level, it's important for all pitchers to be able to pitch on the edges of the plate, and when your fastball is 87, 88, it's even more important. And Iwakuma can certainly do that, and he can pitch to both sides of the plate. Sometimes at this level you'll run into some pitchers that are more comfortable on one side of the plate or the other, but Iwakuma is not an issue. But I've talked about it over the years with him. He's one of the best in the business at changing eye levels. Exactly what Cabrera is talking about. And it's amazing to see him do that with an 87-mile-an-hour fastball and pitch at the top of the zone. Now, the real key to it, Aaron, for me, is that you have the split, and this year it's been even more effective because his slider has been much improved. It's been a pitch he's thrown a lot, and then I think it puts a little bit extra on his fastball as a hitter. Just gets on you a little quicker, and he's pretty good at hitting that top line on the tracer. We'll show you the tracer throughout the night. When he throws a high fastball, he's typically right at that line. Tough to lay off of, really can't do much with it as a hitter.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Vogt. Semien the fielder's choice. Held by Lynn. Off the hands in a right field with some pretty good carry. Smith on a bounce. Semien first to third. Looked like Vogt almost got jammed a little bit there, but able to park the base hit in right field, and the A's have runners on the corners.
It did get on his hands a little bit. This is a cut fastball at 84 miles an hour, and it jams him. He hits it on the label, a little looping fly ball. Seth was playing out towards right center, but it seems as if Stephen Vogt, we talked about it last night, Aaron, Stephen Vogt always seems to be able to pick up a hitter or two against the Mariners. He's actually having a good year. He's hitting 272 overall for the A's.
A couple of hits last night, an RBI as well. And here's Chris Davis, who hit his 28th home run of the season last night, a new single season career high for Davis. Looks at a strike.
And that was the slider. When he locates it down at the bottom of the strike zone, able to hit that outside corner, opposing hitters have really done nothing with that pitch. It's been an excellent pitch for him this year. Again, he's been throwing it more, so he has better command of it.
And quickly 0-2.
Right back with a good fastball in on his hands. That's what we were talking about, both sides of the plate.
Iwakuma trying to dance away from some trouble here in the first inning. Semien at third, Vogt at first base. And one of the best power hitters in the American League at the plate in Chris Davis. Davis down on 3 pitches. Huge out number 2.
And Iwakuma saving his split for the strikeout. Gets ahead with a slider, fastball in on his hands, and comes right back with a split in the dirt.
Batting in the 5th position, first baseman.
First strikeout tonight for Iwakuma. In his last start, he struck out 8 batters. That tied a season high. Now 2 outs for Yonder Alonso. Cued out to Cano, has to charge after being out in right field, and on 1 pitch, Alonso is retired, and Iwakuma strands runners on the corners. We're scoreless through 1 inning. Go to the top of the second inning here from the Coliseum. All Mariner Jedi should head to Safeco Field on August 19th through the 21st. It's Star Wars weekend at Safeco Field, featuring events that include fireworks, a post-game movie, and a very unique Taiwan Skywalker bobblehead. Fans are encouraged to dress in Star Wars attire all series long. For tickets and details, just go to mariners.com/Jedi. As it is Star Wars night here inside the Coliseum. Here's Adam Lind to lead off the top of the second.
And the A's have the shift on with Adam hitting. So Simeon, the shortstop, over on the right side of the infield. Muncy, the second baseman, well out onto the grass towards right.
Lind almost loses his legs. It's 1-1. He'll take a stroll around the plate. Lind came off the bench last night, hitless in 2 at-bats. He took over for Dae-Ho Lee.
Tough break for the Mariners in the first inning. Get a couple of runners on, 2 outs, and Kyle Seager, a hot hitter, the guy you want at the plate, ended up hitting a line drive right at the second baseman. And watching Graveman here in the first couple of innings, we've heard a lot about his two-seamer and how much it's improved since the Mariners faced him last time. And here early on, his fastball is up in the zone. You'd like to see the guys take advantage of that.
It's 2-2. Pulled but foul. You look at the splits for Graveman this year, Mike, and they're pretty even. 288 against lefties, 272 against righties, but the power numbers and especially the doubles really favor left-handed hitters. Left-handed bats an OPS of 830, which that number in and of itself might not mean a whole lot. Xander Bogaerts has an 830 OPS. George Springer 829 as Lind gets rung up. So the point is, that's the type of number we're talking about in terms of a left-handed OPS. Those kind of guys, that's what lefties are feasting against Graveman this season. So the doubles especially have been a problem. Home runs too, but especially other extra base hits.
Yeah, and a little bit surprising to hear that when you consider he has the cutter, so he has a pitch that he can get in on the left-hander's hands. But by looking at those numbers and trying to figure all of that out, apparently he's leaving that cutter out over the plate, and the lefties are taking advantage of it.
It's Lind for out number 1, now facing Martin. There's certainly a buffet of left-handed bats in the lineup here today for the Mariners. Only righties, Iannetta and Nelson Cruz. Right back to Graveman. 2 outs. That brings in one of the right-handed bats. Here's Chris Iannetta.
The catcher, number 33, Chris Iannetta.
Not many at-bats this month for Chris, just 8 in the month of August. Having a hard time this year against right-handed pitching, hitting 188. Done very well against lefties. In fact, he's been one of the best on-basemen for the Mariners this year when it comes to facing left-handed pitching. But getting the start tonight against the righty Kendall Graveman. Vote out for a chat.
I think that conversation is basically don't overthrow your fastball. Again, he's been living with a good two-seamer sinking fastball. And early in the game, a little bit amped up, and he's throwing 93, 94 miles an hour. So probably talking to him more about hitting location. Let's get the ball down in the zone.
Two outs, nobody on for Iannetta. Alonso right behind the bag, fighting the sun a little bit, and the side is retired in order pretty effortlessly here in the second by Kendall Graveman. Second, we take a look at our Geico yesterday in Major League Baseball history, and it revolves around Asashi Iwakuma. His no-hitter last year against the Baltimore Orioles, the 5th no-no in Mariners franchise history. It was his first career complete game. Here's Billy Butler. Mike Fiers of the Astros also threw a no-hitter last year against the Dodgers. That was his first complete game as well. It was a no-hitter. I don't often see that. 1-1.
Saw that it was Hideo Nomo that threw the other no-hitter, and that was actually in Colorado when he was with the Dodgers in '96.
Vince Scully had a great call and essentially said he did what no one thought anyone could ever do, which is throw a no-hitter in elevation. Smoked out towards center. Martin breaking, diving as it caroms to Aoki. Leadoff single for Butler as Martin wishes he could have gotten that one.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the business out there. As you take a look at the solid line drive base hit for Billy Butler. But typically, if Martin's going to get his glove on it, he's going to make the catch. It looked like that went off the end of the glove. Great effort.
A's have the leadoff man reach in each of the first 2 innings. It brings in Smolinski. Smolinski getting the start tonight in right field. Normally it is now Danny Valencia in right field these days for the A's, but Valencia getting a breather tonight with Iwakuma up on the mound. Valencia just 3 for 15 lifetime against him. Maybe that played a part. Butler not a threat to run. Able to dot the outside edge, 1-2.
Iwakuma will make his share of mistakes like everybody does, even at this level. But he's amazing to me that he constantly throws strikes, and they're typically quality strikes on the edges of the plate or that elevated fastball. Thinking about it today, looking at some of his numbers, and he's averaging 2.1 walks per 9 innings. That's 9th in the American League. But you rarely see him. Early on, you'll see a lot of pitchers that'll throw a fastball in the middle of the plate to get ahead. You rarely see that for him. He's always on the edges of the plate, which makes that stat for me even more amazing, that he doesn't walk guys because he's so careful with the way that he pitches.
Soft pop up. Hit over the sunshine, making it look easy for out number 1. I'll take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next, as Wade LeBlanc will be making just his 2nd start on the road this year. Did pitch on relief in Toronto earlier this season, but LeBlanc 8th start overall, taking on a little bit of an unknown for the Mariners. Zach Neal making only his 3rd start for the Oakland A's. As you can see, Neal has spent a lot of time with the bullpen. He's been used a lot out of the bullpen this year for Bob Melvin. We saw Joe Whelan make his Mariners debut at last night's game. Dropping well in front of Aoki. Butler, who singled into second base, and the 4th hit. All have been singles against Iwakuma so far tonight.
Batting in the 9th position, second baseman, number 12, Max Muncy.
Now 2 innings, and in both frames the A's have had a runner in scoring position. Iwakuma was able to strand runners on the corners of the 1st, and with 1 out here in the 2nd, has Butler at 2nd, Healy at 1st. First pitch strike. Really the bottom two in this order for Bob Melvin. Pretty young hitters in many regards. Muncy at the plate now. Healy the man before him. And Iwakuma ahead as he just continues to dot the edges here tonight. It's 0-2.
Well, last pitch fastball is right on the corner. He's had good command of his fastball.
The 0-2.
Marte shading towards the middle of the diamond. See Martin in center field, shading a little bit towards left center.
Muncy batting just .219 this year. Iwakuma was able to dial up the strikeout when he needed it back in the first. See what he can do here. A 1-2 count to Muncy. Butler at second, Healy at first. These ace hitters making Iwakuma work a little bit so far here tonight. Iwakuma's 2-2.
There's the fastball right at the top of the strike zone again, changing his eye level. With 2 strikes, typically when he's able to throw that pitch, he'll come back with a split. Typically he wants to throw the split down out of the strike zone, get him to chase it.
Again on 2-2. Up the middle, Marte, a foot race to second, and he wins. Able to get Healy out number 2.
We just showed it, Marte playing towards the middle. Cano too far away from the bag for them to turn the double play. But a good idea by Marte. Would have been an easy play for him just to go get first, and why not get the lead runner?
Now a runner at third base for the A's for the second straight inning. And at the top of the order, it brings in Coco Crisp. Two outs, 2 on. Now this has been an area where Coco Crisp has excelled this season. He has been one of the best in baseball. You can see what he's done with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Overall this year, batting .448 with runners in scoring position. That is the top average in all of baseball. 1-1.
Had a line drive base hit in his first at bat, and it was on a slow curveball. The curveball at 68 miles an hour.
Iwakuma working with some early traffic on the base paths here tonight. Now 1-2. And going back to that curveball, Mike, we know that Iwakuma throws a slower curveball than most, but 68's pretty slow even for Hisashi.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. I think the slowest has been 65 this year, so he can take a little bit more if he wants. Normally that curveball right around 71, 72.
Butler at third, Muncy at first. Iwakuma trying to escape the second. And it's 1-2. Ground ball, Cano. A tick off the glove. Butler scores. Muncy to third. And Coco Crisp with 2 strikes against him. A run scoring single into right field of the A's. They're on the board first.
And it kind of works that way. Take a look at this last pitch. Little cut fastball at 84 miles an hour. It jams him. Soft little grounder right off the end of Cano's glove. And Aaron, you mentioned the numbers, hitting .448 overall this year with runners in scoring position, and sometimes it's just your year, and because he did not hit that ball hard at all. Cano shading towards the middle of the diamond, almost in the same spot where he's at now.
Here is Semien for the second time tonight. Keeping an eye on Crisp. We saw 2 singles by A's hitters the first, 3 here in the second. All 5 hits against Iwakuma have simply been singles. And one of them ticked off of Martine's glove. The other one we just saw right off of Cano's glove. Iwakuma behind 2-0. Been a lengthy inning for Iwakuma. 21 pitches now. And his next pitch will be number 40 tonight. Muncy at third, Crisp at first. Lynn giving this chase. No chance to get there 2-1.
And for Iwakuma now, he's had to throw a lot of pitches, 40 pitches through the first 2 innings.
And we're just talking about how close a couple of these base hits have been, Mike.
Yeah, that's amazing. And this one right off the end of the glove.
A's with the runners on the corners. And now 3-1. First 3-ball count we've seen tonight for Iwakuma. Vogt would be next. Already a single off of Hisashi tonight. That was back in the first. We played the second. And a full count.
He needed to make a perfect pitch, and he was able to do it right on the inside corner. I think Semien was looking for something out over the plate.
Two outs, 2 on. And the payoff pitch. Getting close to 45 pitches for Iwakuma. Mike, you mentioned 97 in each of his last 2.
Yeah, to work through 7 innings. So he's going to have to figure things out. 25 pitches here in this inning alone.
It continues. Like we just saw Iwakuma kind of stretch his right arm up in the air. We were talking about this earlier. There is a reason for that.
He does it all the time, and I think more than anything, the one that I like is he'll all of a sudden you'll see him out there and he'll just kind of push his hand forward, and it's more to get his elbow in line where he wants it to be when he's releasing the baseball.
Good battle here between Iwakuma and Semien. A 20 home run hitter.
He's throwing everything that he has at him. That was a split on the inside corner, pulling it foul. Next pitch will be the 9th pitch of this at bat.
The A's have already gotten 1 run here in the 2nd inning. Iwakuma trying to limit it to only that. Muncy at third base, Crisp at first. Pitch number 9 to Semien. He'll bring on pitch number 10.
And that was the high fastball again at the top of the zone.
Towards left to Oki. They're in plenty of time. A 10-pitch battle, and Semien is finally retired. A run in for the A's. They lead it through 2. Mike, myself, our entire Root Sports crew would like to welcome Clear Creek Communications subscribers from Oregon City, Oregon. A big thanks for rooting on the Mariners. All of us here at Root Sports and the Mariners certainly appreciate your support. Ketel Marte leads off the top of the 3rd and looks at a strike from Graveman. A's getting a run at the bottom of the the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-out base hit by Coco Crisp. Graveman was able to strand a couple of base runners in the 1st. Had a quick 1-2-3 top of the 2nd.
And here, first time through the lineup, primarily staying with the scouting report, using his fastball, using it a lot. It's a good 2-seam fastball, trying to sink it.
Line drive to Muncy. Second time we've seen that. While Edwin Diaz helps the Mariners rack up saves, the Mariner Moose helps young Mariners fans rack up savings. Wednesday, August 24th, all kids 14 and under take home their very own Moose Bank thanks to KeyBank. Don't miss this very special 12:40 matinee versus the Yankees. Tickets at mariners.com. 1 out, it brings in Norioki. Speaking of the Yankees, it is not very often that you would necessarily, Mike, think to use Kendall Graveman and Babe Ruth in the same sentence, but there is a tie-in as he fires away. 1 ball to 1 strike to Oki. Earlier this year, the A's were playing against the Yankees in the Bronx, and because of injuries and in-game injuries, and that is, and shuffling the order up a little bit, Bob Melvin lost to DH in a game where Kendall Graveman was the starting pitcher. Behind the bag at first base, and quickly 2 outs. Kendall Graveman became the first pitcher to bat cleanup since Babe Ruth, and he had to face Nathan Eovaldi, the guy who throws 100 for the Yankees, and Graveman put up a pretty good battle. Fouled off a couple of pitches, which was pretty impressive. Ended up striking out, but I think Graveman was expecting to dig in there and hit 4th for the A's that night.
Babe Ruth would strike out from time to time, Aaron.
Even the Babe would, huh?
Even the Babe.
2 outs here is Seth Smith. Now this is a matchup of a Bulldog and a Rebel. Seth from Ole Miss. Graveman, born in Alabama, but pitched his college ball at Mississippi State. Quickly 0-2. Looks like we can see the plan of attack against Seth Smith.
It's that 2-seamer again, just trying to keep it down and away to the left-handers. Hope they roll over on it. They're going to get some easy ground ball outs.
Is dropping well in front of Coco Crisp. Seth Smith, the 2-out single.
Seth, a veteran hitter, making an adjustment. 3 pitches in a row, right at the knees on the outside corner, and with 2 strikes. Seth going the other way.
Robinson Cano.
Tying run at first to go ahead at the plate, and Robinson Cano. Robbie has been one of the best road hitters in the league this year. He's hitting .317. Looking at ball 1. It was just recently that Cano passed former Mariner John Olerud, a former Coug, on the all-time extra base hit list. Has already passed recently names like Tony Gwynn, Ryne Sandberg, Wade Boggs. Earlier this year from Fenway Park, he connected on his historic home run that gave him more home runs than any other second baseman in American League history.
And Graveman's working really hard to keep the ball away from him.
Fair to say that's going to be Graveman's approach to every lefty?
Again, on the scouting report for him, and he's pitched well, is he's going to keep the ball down and he's going to try to keep it away from him. In the late movement on his fastball, he wants them to try to attack it, maybe have him roll over on it, hit it off the end of the bat, and get some easy ground ball outs. So it was a nice adjustment by Seth Smith to hit the ball hard the other way. And sometimes when you run into a pitcher that's on his game, Aaron, you can't try to do too much. You have to take what he's going to give you, and it looks to the lefties they're going to have to hit the ball up the middle the other way.
Ground ball. Muncy stays with it. And a pick at first by Alonso. Smith is stranded as we go to the bottom of the third. And a very colorful Star Wars night here from the Coliseum. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at Safeco.com. By your local Ford stores. And by the Emerald Queen Casino. Spend the night with Alice Cooper. October 20th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Stephen Vogt leads off the bottom of the third. Looking at a strike from Iwakuma. Akuma 18 pitches in the first, Mike 29 in the second. Looking for a fairly efficient third inning here. Oki charging on one hop. The sixth hit, they have all been singles, and two of them coming off the bat of Stephen Vogt. Well, time to take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Take a look at the Mariners' highest career winning percentage with a minimum of 90 decisions, and you can see Iwakuma 1632, top of the list. Some Mariners greats: Randy Johnson, Jamie Moyer. You can see Felix on there as well.
Looking at that list and seeing where Felix was at, would you guess that he probably has the lowest run support out of that group?
Looking at that earlier today, the number of losses relative to the number of wins for Felix compared to Jamie Moyer is a little startling. One ball and one strike to Davis, who struck out back in the first inning. The lone strikeout so far from Iwakuma. Chris Davis has a chance this year to join a pretty elite group in terms of A's hitters. You think about Oakland A's hitters with 30 home runs, and Mike, the name that came to my mind was Josh Donaldson, but he had 29 his final year with the A's. The last right-handed hitter for Oakland to about 30 home runs in a season, you got to go back to Frank Thomas. It has been a long time. Brandon Moss had 30, but a left-handed bat.
You mentioned that the first name that came to mind for me was Mark McGwire.
Out towards center. Easy play for Martin. I think that's probably fair to think about Big Mac. One out, one on. I'll take a look at our Delta Airlines Keep Climbing standings. Looking once again tonight at the wild card. Blue Jays and the Astros right now playing each other, and the Blue Jays winning 4-2 earlier today against Houston. You can see the Red Sox in the mix. The Tigers, who are suddenly very banged up, right now holding a slim half-game lead over the Mariners. Jose Iglesias put on the disabled list for the Tigers.
That hamstring.
Yeah.
How about the Yankees hanging in there, though? Ended up getting rid of two of the best relievers in the game and send off Beltran, their veteran. Obviously, Alex is done after last night's game. They're hanging around.
They are. One out, voted first base. Here's Alonso. When you see those standings and you look at that series that we referenced between the Blue Jays and the Astros, you kind of wonder, okay, well, which side are you leaning for in this series? Because the Blue Jays right now, of course, much higher up in terms of the wild card standings, but the Astros, as we saw, just nipping at the Mariners' heels, just a half game behind. Seems like the utmost importance right now is to gain as much distance as the Mariners can from the Astros.
Aaron, you were talking about Iwakuma's pitch count, and he's really done a nice job in the first two innings of controlling the damage. The A's have been able to get some hits, get runners on base. He's given up the one run. But typically when he's in that type of situation, he's even going to try to get finer with his pitches, and he's going to mix it up a little bit more, and that's cost him on his pitch count, go along with a number of foul balls.
So that 10 pitch at bat to Semien, which ended the second inning. Lynn, a quick grab. Marte back over to first base. Plenty of time. And that will end the innings. That'll save the pitch count a little bit. And quickly wraps up 3 innings. The A's have the only run. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By Jack in the Box, taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box, limited time only at participating restaurants. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. A good look north from the Coliseum into downtown Oakland, thereabouts. As we move to the top of the 4th inning, it's Nelson Cruz to lead things off for the Mariners. He sucks his pitch out towards center field. Crisp is at the wall, and Coco Crisp watches this leave the yard, and it's a tied game. Number 29 on the season for Nelson Cruz. What a way to start the 4th.
Nelson Cruz, as you would expect, paying attention. A lot of two-seam fastballs and cutters, and very aggressive. Hits the first pitch out. So Nelson now 2 for 2, and that's a cut fastball on the outside corner.
Seager on the first pitch. Muncy's been pretty busy so far tonight at second base.
Another look at the swing, just picks the foot up, puts it right back down, and then squares it up. It's a great job staying behind that too. Tremendous amount of leverage. He gets it out to center field.
That brings in Adam Lind.
Didn't have that sweatshirt off for very long, did he? Take the sweatshirt off, run up there, hit a home run, put the sweatshirt back on.
Now, Mike, as we take a look at Mount Davis here in straightaway center field, I mean, really, when you think about what Nelly did earlier this season, which was park it above the batter's eye in straightaway center, I mean, that last home run seemed kind of tame, didn't it?
Yeah, up into the seats,
yes,
by the way.
I mean, I think you said at the time, you played here, you've been coming here forever. Have you ever seen somebody go up top there?
No, and I've asked around, and nobody else that I've talked to has seen a baseball go up to dead center field. It was amazing.
Well, right back to Muncy. He's got the magnet on so far tonight. 2 outs. Join the Mariners on Tuesday, August 23rd for the Beatles Tribute Night, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the band's Seattle concert. This special offer prices tickets as low as $24 and includes a limited edition Beatles fleece blanket. Details can be found at mariners.com/Beatles. Base is clean, 2 down for Martin. Healy in the coach's box to end the inning. But on the first pitch of the frame, it was Nelson Cruz connecting on what was home run number 29 on the season. And this game is all tied at 1. On Capitol Hill and at the UW. You can plan your trip at soundtransit.org. Good look at the BART. Now we make our way from downtown San Francisco over here to Oakland. Billy Butler leads off the bottom of the 4th.
I know that you enjoy riding the BART. Does it bother you at all that there's a massive amount of water around you? and you're in a tube on your way over?
You know, I will now. Now that you mention it. Might take that $90 cab ride instead. Shot to center. Martin showing his numbers over his head. Butler chugging through water into second base, and he stands up with a double.
And I think Martin would have had a chance to throw him out at second if he had double clutched out there, and he knew it. Billy Butler has hit the ball hard to center field a couple of times now. And you'll see it bounce up high off the wall, but Butler does not run well at all. And Martin right there, that double clutch cost him. He had a chance to throw him out.
Number 5, Jake Smolinski.
He knew it too. He was running as hard as he possibly could.
Dragging a Steinway into second base.
This is one of the things you talked about Iwakuma and being efficient and what he's done. But in all 4 innings, the leadoff hitters had a base hit.
Smolinski right in line with Cadeau. Butler advances to third base. 1 out. Well, time to take a glance at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Train. The series comes to a close tomorrow. Day baseball here from the Coliseum. Then 4 games against the Angels, who have really had a rough go. They've lost 8 in a row. And then we come back home at Star Wars weekend, the 19th, 20th, and 21st. Post-game fireworks show. Also be played up on Mariners Vision. And then Taiwan Skywalker Bobblehead Day on the 21st. And then the homestand continuing against the Yankees. Here is Healy. One out, a runner at third base. Like you mentioned, a leadoff base hit for the A's in every inning so far, and this is now the 3rd time in 4 innings that Oakland's had a runner 90 feet from home.
The good news for Iwakuma is if he can get a ground ball, that will hold Billy Butler. They have the infield about halfway, and it's because of the lack of speed for Butler. So I'll give him a little more range on the infield. He does hit it on the ground.
Now Butler stays put. Easy play for Seager. Just what he was hoping for. The double by Billy Butler, by the way, snaps a run of 17 1/3 innings for Iwakuma without allowing an extra base hit. Those last two starts at home, as we mentioned, two very good offenses. Red Sox, Tigers, just singles. Muncy a fielder's choice in the second inning. Curveball strike.
There you go, Aaron. Put a little extra on that curveball at 71. He missed it in the first inning. Iwakuma threw a curveball to Coco Crisp at 68 miles an hour.
I did notice him kind of rearing back. Butler stays at third, 2 outs. And Iwakuma's 0-1. We hear sometimes about pitchers who pitch backwards, Mike.
Yeah.
Is Iwakuma that kind of guy?
He's capable of it. It depends on the hitter. I think if it's a hitter that can hurt him, then yeah, you'll see him do that. He's not afraid to throw his slider or his split when he's behind in the count. If it's somebody that's down in the order, I think that he'll try to locate a fastball more times than not.
We've seen the curveball, we've seen the split here to Muncy.
That is split missing with it.
Seager near the line for out number 3. And Billy Butler, after a leadoff double, left stranded at third base. We're through 4 innings, all tied up. All right, thank you, Ange. Iannetta laces a single into left field. I happened to spy the Swellman in the clubhouse today.
Did you put it on?
This, of course, is the birthplace of the Swellman. As we take a look at Iannetta's swing. I wanted desperately to, but it was right next to Robbie's locker. Just there's a lot of people around, Mike. Thought maybe it was best just to leave it alone. But it was right there for the
I'm so glad that you didn't leave it alone. I'm not sure that would have gone well for you.
I think you would have preferred the story had I put it on, though. Healy really racing over by the tarp and trying to go all over the place for it. Strike one.
Just overruns it, had to make an adjustment. A lot of foul ground in this ballpark. Probably not the most efficient route, Aaron.
Might not statcast that one. Marte, a sharp line out to Muncy, the second baseman, back in the third inning. Two. Now for Graveman, he faced 4 batters in that 4th inning, which was highlighted by the leadoff home run from Nelson Cruz. He threw only 8 pitches. Cruz went after the first pitch, so did Seager right behind him. You can see just over 50 pitches so far for the 25-year-old out of Alabama, Kendall Graveman, making his 3rd start this year against the Mariners. Overall, the A's have really been pitching well over roughly the last 30 games. They have an ERA just barely above 3.5 as a full staff. Muncy off to his left, a pivot. Semien to first base, not nearly in time. Fielder's choice for Marte, 1 out. They get Iannetta. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Of the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Third time up for Aoki, 1 for 2. There's no question this year Aoki's success has come against right-handed pitchers like Graveman. Both his batting average and his on-base percentage up nearly 100 points against righties as compared to lefties. Foul ball for strike one. With Sean Manaea, the lefty, up on the mound getting the start in last night's game for the A's, we saw Sean O'Malley lead off. But Aoki leading off here tonight against the righty Graveman. And it's 0-2. Graveman coming to Oakland in the Josh Donaldson deal. A deal that, at least so far, has heavily favored the Blue Jays, to say the least.
Again, just staying away from the left-handers. That last pitch well off the plate away after a couple of strikes on the outside corner.
Marte close but back safely.
Graveman was paying attention because Marte took about a half a step bigger lead.
Healy charging on the grass. 2 outs. Marte at his second base, 2 down for Seth Smith. Our CenturyLink What's Next, as Wade LeBlanc will toe the slab for the Mariners in the series finale here against the A's. Be opposed by Zach Neal, who has just recently joined the rotation for Bob Melvin. Take a look at Wade. Two outs, a man in scoring position for Seth Smith.
This will be just the second at bat for the Mariners with a runner in scoring position. Seth with a base hit his last time up, a solid line drive base hit into left center field.
And we really saw Smith identify what Graveman was trying to do against him.
His first 2 pitches to him were strikes at the knees on the outside corner, and the 3rd strike was in the same location, and he went the other way. They have the shift on with Seth hitting, but he has the ability to go the other way. And a good count right now.
Marte got on with the fielder's choice, has moved to second base on the ground ball out from Aoki. So the go-ahead run with some speed is at second. As time is called. Seth a chance to do some damage against his former team. And Vogt wants to talk about it.
And the A's making an adjustment with their defense. They put Semien back over on the left side. He is shading towards the middle, but no longer in a shift. Muncy, the second baseman, still playing out on the grass. Graveman's been pretty efficient as far as his pitch count goes.
You saw just those 7 pitches in the 4th inning. That certainly helped things. Three and 0.
One of the few changeups we've seen from him. Robbie waiting on deck.
Go ahead run in scoring position. This is only the second 3-ball count. You were talking about how efficient Graveman's been. That's probably a big reason why. Had one to Cano back in the 3rd. The 3-1. The opposite way for a base hit. Here comes Martez. It's bobbled by Davis in left. And the Mariners have taken a 2-1 lead with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning.
We've seen a couple of disciplined professional at-bats from Seth Smith. Really a good pitch from Graveman right on the corner again at the knees, and that's 2 at-bats in a row. Seth taking what they're going to give him. Bobbled out in left field by Davis, but there wasn't going to be any play at the plate with Marte running. So Seth will pick up an RBI, his 44th on the year.
Basically a carbon copy of what he did before.
Yeah, it was pretty close to it, and again, it's one of the things, and it's the reason why managers like veteran guys in their lineup, because younger hitters are going to stay with what their strength is, and Seth likes to pull the ball. That's the reason why they put the defense the way that they do. But if you're not going to get the opportunity.
Crack to center. Coco Crisp gone.
Talk about making an adjustment. Wow, that was a laser.
Screaming to center field. And the Mariners have opened this one up a little bit here in the 5th inning.
26th home run on the year for Cano, now 73 RBIs, and again another fastball on the outside corner.
Now batting.
Doesn't try to pull it. It's a laser to center field. And a pretty good idea. It was just a matter of whether it was going to be high enough.
And here comes the man who homered to center field back in the 4th. Cruz looks at a strike. So a 3 spot for the Mariners here in the 5th, all with 2 outs.
Both home runs, the one by Cano and the one by Cruz on the first pitch. 426 feet on the line.
This is rope foul. Well, we've talked about this off and on this year, but Cano, you can see the stats on Robbie's homer. On the first pitch this year, Mike, he has just been deadly when he decides to go after it.
And I think after he has an at bat or two, he has a game plan, and he's been swinging the bat so well that he executes it. Typically, he will square it up. An exit velocity at 108. That's a pretty good line drive. One of the fans behind the backstop was wearing him out a little bit. Well, they must have gone quiet.
I'd say that hushed them fairly quickly. We'll take another look at number 26 for the Mariners all-star second baseman. You can hang some clothes on this. Mariners are on top. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Were the ones who scored first here tonight. They led it 1-0 through 2 innings, but the Mariners have since come back. A Nelson Cruz home run in the 4th. 3 runs in the top of this 5th, highlighted by Cano's 26th home run. Iwakuma now pitching with a 3-run lead as he starts Coco Crisp off with a strike at 69 miles an hour. I mentioned Iwakuma's success this year against the A's. This is his 3rd start against Oakland this season. 7 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 innings, 1 earned run. So consecutive quality starts. And if you go back to last year, his last 4 starts against the A's have been quality starts. And even more than just the bare minimum. A sub-2 ERA his last 4 starts against the A's.
Watching Coco Crisp foul that last pitch off, starting to frustrate him a little bit. He knows it's working on his pitch count, and there's been a lot of foul balls off of Iwakuma tonight. He's throwing a lot of strikes. 69 pitches, 51 strikes for Iwakuma.
And getting back to something that you were talking about, the quality of those strikes. There's some guys in this league that if they throw that high percentage of strikes, they're not going to be in the game very long.
Right, because they're getting too much of the plate and it's going to hurt him. Well, that was something that Wade Miley had to deal with for a period this year when he was going through a rough patch. He was throwing a lot of strikes, but too many of them in the middle of the plate.
Martin puts on the brakes. 1 down. There is no message that can't wait. Remember, drunk, drugs, or high, it's a DUI. Help us all reach our target zero. Learn more at targetzero.org.
Well, it's the first inning that Iwakuma's been able to retire the first hitter. Again, base hits for the leadoff hitter in the first 4 innings.
good start. Now facing Semien. Mike, I'll be very interested once this game is over with, or once Iwakuma's start is over with, to find out just overall his percentage of fastballs in this game when it's all said and done. Because we're seeing a lot of off-speed pitches. Maybe at least it feels like even more than usual from Iwakuma.
Well, I think it's one of the adjustments because I think he threw his fastball quite a bit in the first 2 innings, and the adjustment he has made is to go to his cutter a little bit more, using his slider. We've seen the curveball, and of course his split. And there you can see his fastball percentage is down to 46% now out of the 74 pitches that he has thrown. Another cutter right there.
You were talking earlier about Seth Smith and a veteran hitter. Scott Servais was talking about kind of something similar with Iwakuma as a veteran pitcher. Well, keep in mind that he made his professional debut when he was 20 in Japan. He's 35 years old now. And the type of adjustments that he can make up on the mound. Scott Servais has said there's nobody on the staff who makes in-game adjustments better than Iwakuma. That's pretty high praise.
He's getting tired of seeing all the foul balls too. He likes it when Iwakuma goes out there and gives him 76 pitches with 1 out here in the 5th.
Lind racing quickly and is able to keep his feet and make the catch.
That's in the stands in any other ballpark in the American League.
A sea of foul ground here at the Coliseum. I'll be sure to stick around after the game for Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. It'll be Angie back at the Ford Sports Desk along with Bill. Brad will be in the clubhouse. We'll hear from the skipper, Scott Servais, probably Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz as well. Both have homered in this game so far. Mariners needing a win here tonight to set up a chance for a series win tomorrow. With Wade LeBlanc up on the mound. First pitch missing to Stephen Vogt, who's 2 for 2.
Well, the good news for Scott Servais is the back end of his bullpen is in really good shape right now. So he doesn't have to concern himself with that.
Taking a strike. Iwakuma has thrown 100 pitches only twice this year. 2 of his 23 starts.
Well, I think that when you look at that, Aaron, and thought about that in this last outing at 97 pitches and the way he was dealing, I thought maybe Scott would try to get 1 more inning out of him, but he took him out after 97.
Right back to Iwakuma. He'll run it halfway. Then takes care of the rest. And the side set down in order. We go to the 6th. Mariners lead it by 3. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Shag, where your friends live. By the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Local 191, investing in our future. By Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at safeco.com. And by BNSF, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. It's always colorful here at the Coliseum, but especially on Star Wars night. Kyle Seager leads off the top of the 6th.
Kyle with a 6-game hitting streak. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Unfortunately for him, both of them right at the second baseman.
Alonso with a stab. 1 out. Our Big Fish Casino big catch, and Alonso. Nice work here for round number 1.
And Kyle tries the right side of the infield again. Hits the ball hard, a 1-hop ground ball. So no luck for Kyle tonight.
Graveman just barely over 70 pitches.
71 pitches, 48 strikes for him.
He's had a lot of quick at-bats. Lynn takes ball 1. Now 3-0 to Lynn. A rare 3-ball count here tonight from Kendall Graveman. Martin on deck, 0 for 2. That 5th inning, really the only one that he's labored through. And on 4 pitches, Lynn draws the first walk of the game from either side. One out and 1 on for Martin. Follow Mariners baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Kurt Young making a trip out to the mound, pitching coach for the A's. Bullpen just starting to move around.
Colon beginning to warm up. Healy in on the grass at third base as Martin climbs in. Chops it off the plate for strike 1. Bob Melvin, the former Mariner skipper at one point. He's won Manager of the Year in both leagues. Not an easy feat. Diamondbacks in the National League, here with the A's in the American League. One out, Lind at first base. And the 2-1 to Martin. Muncy on a late hop. And doubled up. Graveman faces the minimum despite a 1-out walk. Mariners lead it by 3. Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Earlier today, take a look at some Yankees prospects. Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge, back-to-back home runs in their first ever major league at-bats. What a sight from Yankee Stadium. First pair of teammates to ever do that. And the home run hit by Aaron Judge, 457 feet out to center field, the second longest by a Yankee hitter at New Yankee Stadium. That was crushed.
That's amazing. Did you see the highlight of it?
I did.
Where did he hit it?
It was right out towards the monuments, out of center field.
Really?
Just destroyed. And speaking of that, crushed by Davis. His 29th. Cuts the lead to 2 on the first pitch here in the bottom of the 6th.
3 home runs in the game, one by Cano, the other by Cruz for the Mariners, and now this one by Davis, all of them on the first pitch. Davis homered in last night's game, hit it right down the right field line, and this one out towards left center, well back into the seats. High fastball.
Now batting, first baseman.
Powering home run.
Yonder Alonso.
As if there was much doubt. Alonso spoils a curveball. Now, what a first year for Davis here in the American League, coming over this offseason from Milwaukee.
29 home runs. He's tied with Nelson Cruz. One of the premier power hitters in the game, Chris Davis. 29 home runs. 18 of them against the American League West.
Davis last year was really slowed down by a knee injury in the first half, then started to catch fire after the All-Star break.
And for Iwakuma, now at 84 pitches, Nick Vincent starting to get loose in the pen. Aaron, you were talking about it earlier with his pitch counts and only getting to 100 twice this year. If you look at Iwakuma over the last couple of years, he's had a tough time staying healthy, and it's a conscious effort by Scott Service and his staff to try to minimize the amount of pitches that he's going to throw. Fortunately, he's able to get through 7 innings throwing 90-plus pitches.
Still 1-2 to Alonso.
Game for Iwakuma, 6 innings, and in 5 innings the leadoff hitter has had a base hit, including the home run by Davis. 5 out of the 6.
Yeah, the 5th inning, the only one that did not happen. Only 1 strikeout here tonight for Iwakuma. Had 8 his last time out. Now there's number 2, gets him with the curve. 1 out, nobody on for Billy Butler.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 16.
On our Lexus pitching matchup, we compare Iwakuma and Graveman. You can see not many strikeouts by either. Only 1 walk in this game so far. Graveman giving up 2 home runs. Cruz, then Cano. One thing to keep in mind when we talk about Iwakuma's strikeouts here tonight, this road trip for the Mariners against the A's and then the Angels, facing the 2 teams that strike out the fewest in the American League. These are the top 2 teams that are the hardest to strike out overall. Something to remember during this 7-game trip. Butler 2 for 2 tonight. He's been swinging a hot bat recently. Now 17 hits in his last 11 games, including tonight. Which we've probably never thought we'd say, given that earlier in the season when the Mariners played the A's, we never even saw Billy Butler.
Oh, you're right. And you were talking about Iwakuma making adjustments and Scott Service commenting on that. I think he just made another one. I think that was the first slurve we've seen of the game.
How about not only just of the game, but from Iwakuma and
Ever?
Maybe you found something even better. One out, nobody on. Tying run is on deck for the A's. Smith has had a fairly quiet night defensively, and he can't get to this one. .92 pitches now for Iwakuma, who has gone at least 6 innings in 13 of his last 15 starts. 2 outs away from accomplishing that feat here tonight. Count. Smolinski, the right fielder, on deck, hitless so far tonight. This inning began with Davis crushing the first pitch for a homer. As you see, Vincent Alonso then struck out. 1 out, nobody on, and the 3-2 into center field. And Martin has to get behind him. Aoki off the track. And Billy Butler at second base.
Well, Butler, his second double of the game. He's now 3 for 3. I wonder if this line drive in the center ended up knuckling on Martin because he misplayed it. Rare for him to do that, letting the ball get by him. Thought he had a chance to make the catch. But the ball took a little bit of a left turn on him. That'll bring out Scott Service. It looks like that will be it for Iwakuma.
That brings the tie and run to the plate, and Smolinski. Nick Vincent coming on will step aside. Does not go a full 6 innings. As he is pulled here in the bottom of the 6th inning, we take a look at our 76 driving spirit pitching line for Iwakuma. 5 1/3, 9 hits, 2 runs so far, responsible for Butler, who doubled for the second time. No walks, a couple of strikeouts for Iwakuma. 94 pitches, 68 strikes, and he gives way now to Nick Vincent.
But Iwakuma threw the ball extremely well. The A's made him work hard A lot of foul balls, but Vincent will take over. You're going to see a lot of cutters in the upper 80s. He can throw his fastball 90, 91 miles an hour.
And a swinging strike one to Smolinski.
37 appearances, 2-3 record, a 3.29 ERA, 45 strikeouts and 38 and a third. Good number for him. Only 9 walks on the year. Opponents hitting just .210.
Butler 3 hits in as many at-bats against Iwakuma tonight. The opposite way. Smith on a bounce. Butler rounding. Here comes a throw home. The tag. He's safe. A's within a run.
Second base hit with a runner in scoring position for the A's. That's a high cut fastball at 89 miles an hour.
Now batting, third baseman, number 48, Ryan Healy.
Tying run at first, go ahead at the plate, Ryan Healy. He looks at strike one. Three runs, 9 hits, 5 1/3, the final line for Iwakuma. Quickly 0-2. Vincent on 3 pitches disposes of Healy. 2 outs. Return of the Jedi on a screen the size of the Death Star. Be a part of history on Sunday, August 20th, as we showcase the film on Mariners Vision, one of the largest screens a Star Wars movie has ever been played on. It's all part of Star Wars Weekend at Safeco Field. For details, visit mariners.com/Jedi. Two outs, tie and run at first as Muncy looks at ball one. Now the A's scoring here in this 6th inning, the first time they put a run across home plate since the 2nd. 2 runs in.
Obi-Wan has taught you well.
The 1-1. 1-2. Vincent trying to end this 6th inning, holding a Mariners 1-run lead after taking over for Iwakuma. Cano doesn't have to move far. And that ends the bottom of the 6th. But 2 runs in. Davis the homer. Smolinski the run scoring single. And the A's are within 1. Relationships rule, and first pitch swinging. Nelson Cruz, number 29 of the year. Nothing Coco Crisp could do about it. And in the very next inning, once again on the very first pitch, here's Robinson Cano.
And that is a line drive laser beam that hits the concrete back there over the center field fence for Cano's 26th home run of the year.
Now that gave the Mariners a 4-1 lead, but the A's getting 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. As we take a look at the final line from Kendall Graveman.
Been a pretty hot pitcher for the A's, so the Mariners did a good job against him. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, 1 walk, couple of strikeouts. He threw 79 pitches. John Axford going to take over 50 appearances on the year for him. 45 strikeouts, over 20 walks, and 46 2/3. Opponent's hitting .270 against him. Pretty good fastball, right around 96 miles an hour on average. Also use a hard slider, an occasional changeup and curveball.
Casey Neinette to lead off the 7th. This has been kind of a strange season for Axford. We saw him in April, and he was tremendous. He looked, maybe this could be a stretch, but he looked almost as good as he did when he was the closer for the Brewers. He just had that overwhelming heat that you were talking about, Mike. Just had overall tremendous command. In April, just 1 earned run in 11 appearances, but things have been different for Axford since May. Opponents hitting nearly .290 against him in that span. An ERA at 5.77 since the beginning of May.
And you can see in his 4 appearances against the Mariners, his ERA north of 7.
He's had some command problems at times this year. Overall, his numbers basically a walk for every 2 strikeouts, which is not something you're looking for in a reliever.
Caminero getting loose in the Mariner pen. Maybe we would see Tom, then Caminero, then Diaz, but Caminero getting loose.
Been tremendous in his young Mariners career. The 3-2. And a leadoff walk. Not missing by much on a high fastball. Leadoff man aboard. That brings in Marte. Well, are you the ultimate Northwest fan in the state of Idaho? Then Root Sports is looking for you throughout the month of August. Submit a photo and story on our website at rootsports.com/ultimate-fan, and you could win a VIP trip for 2 to Seattle in September, a personalized jersey, and a whole lot more. For official rules, just visit rootsports.com. And steps Ketel Marte. On the first pitch, he sends it out towards center. And Coco Crisp is there to make the easy catch. 1 out. Fourth time up for Aoki. 1 for 3.
Now batting, number 8, Nori Aoki.
Strike 1. Let's take a look at some updated standings. Our Delta Airlines keep climbing standings to the West as the Rangers cannot quite get to win number 70 tonight. They get blanked by the Tigers 2-0. So the Tigers, a team that leads the Mariners by a half game of the wild card standings, getting the win. Meanwhile, the Astros just a half game behind the Mariners.
The Mariners just 5 games back in the loss column to the Rangers.
That's what's so just exciting about this time of year. You think about the Rangers and how red hot they've been for nearly all season, as you can see how that game affects the Tigers, with Detroit winning 2-0, gaining a game as we sit right now on the Mariners in the standings. But For as red hot as the Rangers have been, boy, Mike, you think about it, if they go through just a week-long cold spell, and maybe even just 4 or 5 days, and the Mariners can continue the momentum that they brought with them here on this road trip from the homestand, boy, then things start to get really interesting.
And that's going to happen, I think, for the Mariners over the next 3 weeks, because then the schedule is going to change for the Rangers. This ball gets away and vote. Iannetta will move up to second, but the Rangers schedule in their last, I believe, 15 games, they're going to get the A's a couple of times, the Angels, the Brewers. So it's good at that point you would expect them to play pretty well with that schedule. So the Mariners are going to have to continue to play well over the next 3 weeks if they want to make up some of that ground.
So in other words, the Rangers, roughly speaking, finish the season with the stretch that the Mariners are going through right now.
Correct.
And for Scott Servais, for as brutal as the schedule had been, it is certainly softening. Road trip, the 2 bottom dwellers in the division, the A's and the Angels. The Brewers coming to town. The Yankees playing better. We'll see them on the next homestand. Inside, 2-2. Runner in scoring position for Aoki. A soft chopper. Axford handles it over to Alonso. So 2 outs and moves Iannetta into third base.
See if they try to switch up on Seth. They've pitched him away the entire game. He grounded out. Lined out his first time up to the second baseman, but a couple of base hits going towards left center. Line drive, solid base hits on pretty good pitches on the corner at the knees. Mariners now 1 for 3 in the game with runners in scoring position. Not many opportunities for him. You mentioned last night, Aaron, they did not have an at bat with a runner in scoring position,
and yet scored 3 runs. A little bit of an oddity there. Saw the home run from Seager. A sacrifice fly certainly factored into things there. First pitch to Smith and a strike. Now Seth entered tonight just 4 for 22 in the month of August. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Very nice showing by Seth Smith, batting second in right field for the Mariners. Behind 0-2.
And a pretty good fastball on the inside corner at 97 miles an hour. So Stephen Vogt, the catcher, making some adjustments.
Trying to bring in Iannetta from third base with 2 outs. Comes in and somehow misses Smith. That was close.
See if he gets a piece of his jersey. Boy. He could work to get out of the way of that fastball at 96 miles an hour.
Coming to get you. 1-2. Takes his legs right out.
Pretty good slider down and in.
I'll give him a moment.
He gets the shin guard that he's wearing. Nope, right out the top of the foot.
Well, that only happens every time. Two outs, Iannetta at third base. He reached on the walk, advanced to second on the wild pitch. Moved to second on the ground ball out from Oki. Smith ready to go. And once again, Axford's 1-2.
And a pretty good swing at that inside fastball at 97 miles an hour. Was able to stay inside of it.
Now, you weren't kidding, Mike. First few at bats, everything low and away to Smith. This time, with the heat from Axford, everything's inside.
Back in there again.
Caminero continued to warm up.
He's had plenty of time in this inning. This will be the 20th pitch for Axford.
Mariners trying to cash in on a leadoff walk. The 2-2. At a full count. Cano would be next. A home run in his previous at bat. Here comes Axford's 8th pitch. Trying to bring home Iannetta. This is turning out to be quite the battle between Axford and Smith. Two outs, a man at third. And a 3-2. Reaching for a pitch outside that time. Like that had a chance to be ball 4.
Pitcher starts to come at you, especially when you have the velocity that Axford does. You kind of get in that swing mode. If it's close, I'm swinging, because you have to get the bat started early anyway, just because of the velocity. And I think anything that's borderline, you're going to see Seth swinging at it.
Pitch number 10 to Seth Smith. To Alonso on a couple of skips. Iannetta stranded at third base. It's time to stretch here from Oakland. Stretch that imagination right now because you need to be ready if you win Washington's lottery. Play today. Now some changes for the Mariners as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Mariners still holding a 1-run lead over the A's. Middle game of this series. It wraps up tomorrow. Sean O'Malley is in right field. He takes over for Seth Smith. Iwakuma got the start. It was Nick Vincent who finished off the 6th. And that's Archimedes Caminero. Caminero is up on the mound.
See what he's done on the year. 42 appearances, a 3.20 ERA, 34 strikeouts, 22 walks in 45 innings. Only sitting 269 against him.
Top third due up. Here is Coco Crisp. Couple of base hits and an RBI tonight for Crisp. Caminero has been fantastic since coming over to the Mariners. He pitched in every game of the Tigers series.
Well, his fastball will be 97 to 101. Has a cutter at about 93 miles an hour.
Cano quickly moving out. Marte, Cano can't make the catch. A rarity. Third hit tonight from Crisp.
Wasn't sure he was going to be able to get there, and there are a lot of bodies around him as he tries to make the catch, and it looks like it goes off the heel of his glove. Third base hit for Crisp.
That's the first hit given up for Caminero since coming to the Mariners.
And another leadoff base hit for the A's. 6 out of the 7 innings.
Well, and another base hit for the A's that has ticked leather. Got on a piece of a Mariners glove. Go ahead run at the plate at Semien. Strike one at 97. Well, there has been a lot of traffic on the base paths for Mariners pitchers tonight.
Coco Crisp does not run as much as he used to. In fact, he only has 6 steals on the year. He's attempted to steal 10 times, so he's been thrown out 4.
Caminero holding.
I think in large part just trying to keep him healthy. He's been injured over the last few years. This might be a situation in the game, though, where he tries to get to second.
Out to center with some life to it. Martin has enough space to make the catch. Now number 1. Support those who protect our West. Now until August 31st, a portion of every purchase of Coors Banquet will be donated to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation. You can also show your support by coming to Firefighter Appreciation Night at Safeco Field on August 21st. Learn more about the foundation and the Protect Our West program at wffoundation.org. One out, one on. It brings in Stephen Vogt. 2 hits last night, 2 hits already here this evening. Tying run at first. And strike 1. Now when you think about Caminero and the velocity, it was earlier this year that Vogt singled off of an Aroldis Chapman 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, that's probably the reason why he started him off with a split. From a split at 89 miles an hour, and he ended up cueing it right off the end of the bat. Cheating a little bit to get to the fastball.
There goes Coco. Throw to second, Marte the tag, and not in time. Well, Mike, you were talking about it.
I think it's the situation of the game is the reason why he decides to run. Again, he's only had 10 attempts this year going into that stolen base. He's been caught 4 times, but down a run. Worth it, and looks like maybe he hurt himself.
Tying run now in scoring position for Stephen Vogt.
The A's are 2 for 9 tonight, runners in scoring position.
Caminero behind 2-1. It was a bloop single by Crisp to put him aboard the second pitch of this inning. Lynn on a couple of bounces. Out number 2 as Crisp is now 90 feet from home.
And Mel Stottlemyre making a trip out to the mound. Chris Davis walking to the plate. He homered his last time up. His 29th home run on the year, hit it out to left center field deep into the seats.
Davis leading the A's in strikeouts. Also a home run shy of number 30 on the season. He does not hit for a high average. Now this is a big battle right here. 2 outs. Tying run at third. The go ahead at the plate. 3/4 swing at 100 miles an hour for strike 1.
Well, apparently Mel Stottlemyre told him not to hold back on the fastball. His best fastball up to that one was 97. But on the first pitch hits 100.
This time off the plate with the heat. Crisp, the tying run at third base with 2 outs. 1-2, 101 that time. Cabanero's 1-2. Missing.
Both the strikes are right down the middle, and I don't think he's trying to hit the edges of the plate. He's just reaching back and giving his best fastball.
Huge spot of this game right here. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here it comes. Count on and missed at 100 miles an hour. And Cabanero strands the tying run at third base. What a way to finish off the 7th.
It's power on power. Fastball right down the middle at 100.
Robinson Cano.
Thank you, Angie. Here is Cano to lead off the top of the 8th inning. Mark Zimchenski, the new pitcher. Cano on the first pitch. Not quite the same result he had on the first pitch of the 5th as he grounds out for round number 1.
Zimchenski, pretty good fastball, right around 91 miles an hour, changeup and a slider. On the season,
Cruz.
51 appearances, a 1-0 record, 3.27 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 21 walks, a lot of walks for 33 innings. Opponents hitting 278. He's only given up 1 home run this year. Basically fastball slider.
You mentioned those walks, Mike. He has the highest whip of any reliever in baseball.
Well, hopefully the Mariners take advantage of that.
Just the opposite of the man we saw last night, Ryan Dold, who's been one of the best.
Tom Wilhelmsen going to pitch the 8th inning.
One ball and 1 strike. Nelly ahead 2-1. Cruz a single in the first, a home run out to center field of the 4th. Nelly now just 11 home runs shy of his 3rd straight 40 home run season. Keeping it low and outside to Cruz. The 2-2. Switch apiece. And a full count to Nelly. Borderline pitch that time. Seager on deck for the Mariners. Hitless so far tonight. A hard line out back of the 1st. The 3-2 to Cruz. A chopper to Healy over at 3rd base. And a long stretch by Alfonso. 2 outs. Cap off your Labor Day weekend and take in a Mariners game at a special 3:40 start time on Monday, September 5th against the Rangers. What's more, fans can pick up select view-level seats for one low price thanks to BECU. Tickets can be found as always at mariners.com. Back-to-back ground ball outs for Zimchenski, now facing Kyle Seager. Seager ground ball out his last 2 times up. Chance here to extend his 6-game hitting streak. And he gets ahead 2-0. Like that was maybe a bit wide, but a strike. 2-1.
He's just keeping everything away from Kyle. Kyle on the year has 8 home runs against left-handed pitching, including one off of Manaya in last night's ball game. So Zebchinski trying to keep the ball away.
Well, the only left-handed hitter in Mariners history with more home runs off of left-handed pitching. Can you take a guess?
Number 24.
It really is pretty incredible. Seager long ago passed Alvin Davis in that category, and Raul as well. Both to have a talk with Zebchinski. But the pure numbers on him, Mike. Last night, his 42nd home run against a lefty, and Junior a little bit of a cushion, 127.
Might take Kyle a while.
It's going to take a while to track him down. Two outs, nobody on. Mariners right now clinging to a 4-3 lead. And the 3-2. Well, Caminero worked to scoreless bottom of the 7th. Well, Helmson will work in the bottom of this 8th. Lynn hoping he has a chance to hit here in the top half of the inning.
Pretty good hitting right there after all those fastballs. That time it was a slider in a 3-2 count. I was able to get a piece of it right at the bottom of the strike zone, borderline pitch.
Left on left. And Seager strikes out the end of the inning. Zebchinski out of the bullpen, a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. The bartender's coming on to pitch the bottom half. Lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our CenturyLink What's Next. Wade LeBlanc will toe the slab for the Mariners tomorrow, making start number 8, just his 2nd away from Safeco Field this year. He'll be opposed by Zach Neal, making only his 3rd start this season. Both of these teams, Mariners and the A's, have used a dozen starters this season as Tom Helmson will pitch the bottom of the 8th.
For Tom, 37 appearances on the year, ERA over 7. He's done a lot of good work for the Mariners. The ERA with the Mariners is actually under 2. That's how good he has been out of the pen for them, and it's the reason why he's worked his way into the setup role for the Mariners, pitching here in the 8th inning.
Facing Yonder Alonso to begin the bottom of the 8th. Alonso hitless so far tonight, a strikeout, a double play ball as well.
And the Mariners have the shift on with him hitting.
Tom waiting for Alonso to get back in. Right back to Wilhelmsen. 2 pitches and an easy out, number 1.
Ryan Madson, closer for the A's, getting loose just in case.
Now batting.
Madson got his 25th save of the season last night.
Billy Butler.
I'm not sure if there's a better poster child, Mike, for what a player's environment can mean to him than Tom Wilhelmsen.
No, I would agree. Obviously spending the majority of his major league time here, and then this year with the Rangers, it just was not working out at all. Fortunately for Tom, he's back here in Seattle and pitching well. Billy Butler having a night. He is 3 for 3, has 2 doubles, has scored a couple of runs. All of them line drives right back up the middle.
Now the 3 hits tying a season high for Butler. Now that is a guy with 3 hits deserves better fate. Ball and 2 strikes.
Back-to-back curveballs from Tom.
Wilhelmsen's 1-2. Got a soft chop to Lind. He'll take care of it himself. A couple of ground ball outs. And 2 quickly set down from Jake Smolinski. Make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag #RootFanFave. Watch the Mariners pregame show every Sunday to find out the top 5 fan favorite plays of the week. Plus, each month, one lucky fan will win a Coors Light Refresherator just for participating. Our winner from the month of July will be announced tomorrow. It's a big day coming up. Mariners by a run, 2 outs. Bases clean, last of the 8th. And Smolinski stares at a strike.
Smolinski with a base hit and an RBI his last time up. Line drive off of Nick Vincent into right center field.
Caminero able to strand the tying run at third base in the 7th with a strikeout to Davis at 100 miles an hour. And now Wilhelmsen trying to finish off the bottom of the 8th. And 1 pitch closer, 1-2. Both bullpens in this series, which started last night, have been fantastic. Tom's 1-2. Evens things up.
So far he's thrown him 1 fastball, and I think it was just to show it to him. It was for a ball. Trying to get him out with the slider.
And a weak wave and a miss. He cuts through it. Smolinski is down swinging. And the side sat down 1-2-3.
And it's the slider, and it's dirty.
A breezy night here from the Bay Area as we go to the top of the ninth inning. Mariners leading 4-3. We'll take a look at the wild card standings right now, updated from some results from earlier this afternoon and this evening as well. Our Delta Airlines keep climbing standings. Everyone on the screen has won today with the exception of the Astros. They've fell to the Blue Jays. Of course, the Mariners in progress right now, but Blue Jays and Red Sox winning. The Tigers winning as well, so they have extended their lead for the time being to a game over the Mariners. Now the Yankees, as we mentioned earlier, are making some noise.
Well, the good news for the Mariners, add on an insurance run right now, and when Diaz getting loose in the bullpen, and even from here he looks like he's throwing hard, Aaron. Pretty good slider.
0-2. Well, the Mariners have not gotten a run off of this A's bullpen. Reaching for it, a parachute, and it drops in fair. Lind is aboard with 2 strikes against him. His first hit tonight, second time reaching.
And this is a really good pitch. It's a slider right on the corner, and it's right off the end of the bat, out in front of it a little bit. But it'll work. He serves it into left. Healy, the third baseman, in on the grass expecting a bunt.
Martin showing. Steady Nixon right back to the glove of Vogt. Oh, 2. Alonso on the grass to Semien, and Martin able to beat it out.
And Bob Melvin out of the dugout. He's going to make a pitching change. Liam Hendricks, right-hander, on his way into the game.
We saw him last night. He's coming on here with 1 out and 1 on in the ninth. New pitcher Liam Hendricks, who was very good last night, Mike. He struck out the side in order in the 7th. He works here in the 9th.
Yeah, good fastball at 94 miles an hour. Slider curve change. On the year, 33 appearances, 4.30 ERA, 45 strikeouts and 44 innings. Only 7 walks so far this year, so good numbers for Hendricks across the board.
Right-handers have been able to get to him a little bit this year, batting .291 against Hendricks.
Ned has been on base a couple of times. He's 1 for 2, has a base hit and a walk.
Now, Bob Melvin has put his trust in Hendricks in these types of situations many times this year. He has been very successful when inheriting runners. He has inherited 25 base runners this year and has allowed only 3 to score. And he goes around. Mark Wegner, crew chief. 0-1 to Iannetta.
Just a good fastball at 94 at the bottom of the strike zone. Borderline whether it was a strike or not.
Diaz warming up. We will see him at the bottom of the 9th inning. Time is called. One out, one on, and the 0-2. Foul ground towards right field. Diaz has to get out of the way. Can you set a screen, Mike?
I don't think so. You have to give him an opportunity to make the catch. See, Diaz, I'm just glad that nobody ran into him.
He breaks easily.
Yeah, well, you just don't want him to get hurt. He was off the mound quickly. Let's just say that.
Said even in the Southern League, bullpens weren't exposed like this. Another foul ball. Hendricks taking over for Zepchinski here in the top of the 9th inning. One out, Martin at first base. And a throw that way, safe. And this stays fair. And will start to die by the bullpen. Martin, first to third. Iannetta slides in at second base. Tiptoeing the chalk into left field. The Mariners have something brewing here at the top of the 9th inning.
And this is right down the line. It jams them a little bit, but well placed. A nice job by Chris Iannetta to go into second base. We talked about Chris Davis in his arm. Does not have a good throwing arm, and that's the reason why Iannetta decided to go to second. You can see the air under that throw. So that'll keep the Mariners out of a double play situation. Take another look at this swing. This is up and in, just trying to protect the plate. And right about there, he knows he's in trouble. Tries to pull his hands inside and gets just enough of the barrel to it to fight it off down the line. Second base hit for Iannetta. 2 for 3 night. Been on base 3 times with a walk.
Infield in. Ball 1 to Marte.
All kinds of options here with Marte at the plate and the speed of Martin at third.
A little flare and an easy play. 2 outs.
Mariners are now 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
Two outs, it brings it Norioki. Iannetta at second, Martin at third. And ball 1. Hendricks looks like he's got something in his eye. Diaz ready to go when we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Mariners need a win here tonight to set up a chance for a series win tomorrow before heading off to Anaheim for 4 games. And as close as the standings are in the wild card, the Tigers right now leading the Mariners by a game. This road trip of huge importance. A late hop, and Muncy belt high ends the inning. The Mariners strand runners at second and third base. And it's Edwin Diaz who will work the 9th, trying to nail it down. All right, Angie, thank you. Time for Edwin Diaz to put on a show here at the bottom of the 9th inning, looking for his 6th save of the season.
Fastball in the upper 90s. He's topped out this year at 102. And a hard slider. He's really been special out of the pen for the Mariners. 5 for 5 in his save opportunities. ERA at a 1.74 in 31 innings. He has 58 strikeouts.
He was the fastest pitcher to 50 strikeouts in the history of the game.
8-9-1 for the A's. Healy going to lead off. Danny Valencia has come out on deck. He will pinch hit from Muncy.
Land a long run for it. And a basket catch.
What a catch. We talked about the amount of foul territory, and he had to run a long way, all the way out by the Mariners bullpen. Almost hit the mounds, was able to skirt that and concentrate in the last minute, throw his glove out there to make the catch. Wow. That's a big play. Anytime you're protecting one run, anything can happen. Great effort by Lynn.
That says it all. And here's Danny Valencia, pinch hitting for Muncy. Has not pinch hit hardly at all this year. Around late. Oh, and 2.
Pretty good slider.
The 0-2.
Pretty good play by Iannetta on the ricochet off of the 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Diaz 2 outs away. A squibber. Lynn halfway to second, and Diaz finishes it off. 2 outs. Diaz has been very efficient his last couple of times out. 5 pitches to get the first 2 outs here tonight.
And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Coco Crisp. He is 3 for 4 tonight. Also has a stolen base and driven in a run. Good night for Coco.
Staring at 98 for a strike. Check swing, goes around on a slider. 0-2.
Seven pitches, 6 strikes. That slider just disappears on him.
The 0-2. A strike away from a save and a win here tonight for the Mariners. And there it is. A slider finishes off Coco Crisp. Diaz puts the A's to bed of the ninth, and the Mariners have even the series.
Yeah, it's a big win for him. You mentioned the road trip, Aaron. Now they have a chance to win the series in tomorrow's ball game. But I think more importantly tonight, Iwakuma on a night where the A's really made him work and fouled off a number of pitches, and he was out there in stressful situations, gets the win. His 14th win on the year. Fantastic job by the bullpen once again tonight. And Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano, both of them homer tonight. That proved to be the difference.
It'll be Wade LeBlanc tomorrow. Mariners looking for a series win here in the Bay Area. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. Well, it starts right now with Angie and Bill. Guys, take it away.
Excuse me.